Welcome to Sew and Tell, where sewists from fashion, theater, and indie sewing bring their different perspectives to the hottest topics in the sewing community. I'm Kate Zaynard.
I'm Meg Healy.
And I'm Amanda Carestio.
Today on the podcast, we're thinking about Valentine's Day and talking about sewing for date nights of all kinds. Then we'll spend some time talking about sewing for the men in our lives. We'll each share a little something in our SewJo segment, then we'll ask you to share something too. But before we get started, I'm in the studio.
Yay! Meg's sitting here right next to us.
I'm here in person, not through a screen, so it's good
for the first time ever. It's super exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
So how have your guys' weeks been? I know I've seen you kind of poking around the office. I've been filming all week, so it's my first day kind of in cube life, which I'm really enjoying. Always wanted a cube of my own. Goals.
Walls.
Walls, yes. Walls are good.
Yeah. It's been a good week. It's been a busy week.
Yeah. We had Monday off for Martin Luther King Day.
Right, yes.
And
how was that?
So it was good. I went to the museum with my godkids.
Oh,
we had a great
nice.
time.
Yeah, you posted a picture, didn't you? You were wearing like you got like a shirt or something.
I did get a shirt. I didn't post a picture yet.
Oh,
I'll have
okay.
to do that. It's great. It's got a Tyrannosaurus Rex holding a wine glass and says Winosaurus on it because it's from the Museum of Natural History and it's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
I'm gonna wear it this weekend. I'll grab a picture.
Yeah, definitely. Would be the dinosaur that I would be if I was born a million years ago.
The best of both worlds: dinosaurs and wine.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
All right, so let's get started talking about date night. So we talk a lot about sewing for every day, but when you're going on a date night, you kind of want to maybe get outside your regular everyday stuff a little bit, dress up a little bit more. And one of the fun things about sewing, of course, is that you can make yourself things that you can't necessarily find in a store. Mm-hmm. So I kind of want to talk about special occasion stuff, but I also want to talk about like day dates, which are awesome and don't usually require quite as
I love a
fancy
good
stuff.
day date.
Oh,
Same.
I know.
So fun.
Yeah.
So, do you guys sew for your date nights?
I do actually. When I was living in New York, I remember for Berta, we did like a date night post. We all did a dress, and I made my favorite dress. It was called the scuba dress, and it was like stretch leather, and it was like really cute, and like side mesh panels with. I didn't have anyone to date, so it was like, so it was like actually ironic. I actually met my now fiance the day after Valentine's Day. I met him on February 15th.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, so we kind of just lump our anniversary and Valentine's Day kind of together.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I do like making some special, yeah.
How about you, Amanda?
I do. I feel like I tend to focus on the bigger occasions like anniversary date nights.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've actually got a couple of date nights coming up in February and in March actually going to a couple of concerts. So
Nice.
I feel like my approach in the past, I feel like I've got a few things that I wear kind of over and over again. They're like my date night thing. But I feel like I need a few more in the mix. So that's my plan.
What kind of fanciness level do you go for this?
I know, I'm very curious.
You guys know me. So
not very?
Not very. I mean, I've got a few different. For me, it's more about bringing in kind of a fancy fabric. So I've got some leopard print that I'm gonna work with, and then kind of making like a drapier shirt, like a drapier fabric than I usually work with, something a little bit more
Amanda's
high-end.
going cardigan couture, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, always.
I mean, that is Amanda's look.
Yes. Just thought of that. I think
Just put a cardigan on it.
Cardigan couture. You need some garment labels that say that.
Probably. Yeah, but I'm not supposed to make any more cardigans, remember?
Right.
I just made one.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you been sticking to that?
We can make an
No.
exception for couture cardigans.
Okay.
Exactly. Well, and you can
Thanks,
put the
guys.
labels in all of the cardigans you've already made. So.
It's true.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Yes, definitely. I don't know. I don't really sew very much for date night, except that, you know, when I do a lot of sewing, many of the things that I do are a little bit nicer than my basic wear because it's kind of work wear, business casual sort of thing. And when I do go out on dates, I might be more likely to wear one of those. I do have my little black dress, which is not actually black. We did a feature, I think a couple of years ago in So News where we each made a little black dress.
Oh, yes. I remember that because I was not included. No, I'm just joking.
Sorry, Meg.
Next time.
Next time, definitely. And I think there was only one dress that was actually completely black. And mine, I actually picked a color called raisin, which depending on the light is kind of brown or kind of
like a
purple.
purple-y?
Yeah,
Nice.
so it's really cool. And so I got some beautiful silk dupioni. And so I made myself
nice.
a silk dupioni with a little bit of beaded trim. And that's kind of the fanciest thing I've made for myself anytime recently.
Yeah.
So if I have a fancy date, if I'm going out to a nice dinner with my husband, I'll put that on. Yeah.
Yeah, what I like to do too is Julian doesn't like getting that like fancy and doing fancy things. So I have date nights with like my girlfriends all the time. We get dressed up and go to like a really nice hotel lobby for a, $20 drink and
Awesome.
yeah, so
That sounds great.
It's a nice excuse for, all the girls to get dressed up. I always find I do actually more of those. I do like a couple dates. We do more day dates like biking and
The biker shorts will come in handy for that.
oh my
Yes.
gosh, guys. Yes.
Tie into last episode.
Yes, fashion bike shorts for date night.
It'll be
Yeah.
perfect.
Bike
Yeah.
shorts. So you say when you go out with Julian, you go out on the more casual things.
Yeah.
So do you have anything special that you wear for those, or is it just whatever you would wear on a
I
normal
usually
day?
wear what I've recently sewn for a mashup or something special. I usually just say, okay, that now it's a great time to wear something that I've made
Something
special.
newish.
Something newish, yeah. Because it's sometimes the mashups aren't really like day-to-day wear, so it's a nice excuse to
just
to wear that.
taking advantage of it. Yeah, I have to confess, my most likely day date is going to be mini golf because my husband's
I love mini golf.
I
mini
love
golfing.
mini golf too.
And I'll tell you what, I am a terrible mini golfer on the first round, but I am a shark after that. I don't know. I need like one round to get my feel for it, and then after that, I'm like beating everybody. It's great, except for the first round because that's frustrating.
Just to warm up.
Yeah, exactly. But when I go mini golfing, it's usually hot. It's the summer, and I just
Yeah.
end up wearing whatever t-shirt and tank top and shorts that I was wearing anyway. So sometimes I made those, and sometimes I didn't. But I think my base day date look is not particularly dressed up at all.
Yeah.
How about you, Amanda? Day dates?
Day dates, we haven't gotten to do a lot of those recently, but we have talked about doing one coming up and heading out to some nearby hot springs. So
nice.
I do have on my list to sew a swimsuit and still
Yeah. You
just said
figuring
you got
that out.
fabric,
I
right?
did, but I'm not sure if I have time to do it before that. But yeah, I mean, I think it depends on what we're doing. If we're going for a hike
What's
or visiting
appropriate.
some local breweries or something like that. But I definitely tend to wear whatever I've made most recently
Yeah.
because I'm in love with something at the moment
Exactly.
and find a way to make that work. But I don't think we haven't really done too many super fancy things. Like I think our dates in general and day dates definitely tend to be more casual. So yeah, we might have to change that.
Yeah. There's like
Sure.
only a couple times, where we like really
Really fancy
dress
it
up.
up.
Yeah. And Julian's like, I'm gonna get the suit out. I'm like, ooh.
Ooh, suit time.
What color is it?
Oh, he has like a blue houndstooth suit that he
Nice.
wears. Yeah.
Oh my
because-
gosh.
Yeah.
Do you have a picture?
Yes,
we might have
I
to put that on
do.
show
I
notes.
do, actually.
Will he be
yes.
okay with that?
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay,
I'm sure
good.
he'll be fine with that. Yeah, he has some pictures in that. And yeah, like we consider going to other people's weddings as like a date for us.
Totally.
Because it's like open bar and have a dinner and do some dancing and
I wish I could convince Mark to dance with me at other people's weddings, but he just is like, I don't like dancing. And I'm like, fine, I'll go dance with my cousin.
Oh yeah, that's another thing that Julie and I do as date nights. We like to do activities, so we're taking swing dancing
I love
lessons,
that.
and so that's like
Yeah.
something that we can do.
Do you have a swing outfit?
I was just thinking that I want to make like obviously like nice circle like swing skirt and stuff.
Yeah, a nice pair of Spankies.
Yes. So you know what? I'm kind of skipping ahead here, but some SewJo that could be some. I don't know.
That would be so fun.
I know.
You could just have so much fun with that.
Yeah, back when I was in college, I had a swing dance. You know, there was about a year there where I did a lot of swing dancing, and I somehow managed to convince my mother, because I hadn't started sewing at the time, to make me this awesome like 40s style dress with black with white polka dots and red buttons, and it was so great, and I would go swing dancing in it.
Nice. Does me have a poodle embroidery? I was just trying to think, make embroider a little poodle on it.
I don't think we do, but you should do that.
Yeah, you definitely should.
Yeah, I definitely should. Okay.
I think we can definitely find
maybe I'll or I can just use the pug. The pug.
Oh
dog.
my gosh!
I do have the poodle face from that same collection.
We do. You're right.
I had forgotten about that.
Yeah. Because I knew you guys had the dog collection because I embroidered the pug.
I think you should do the pug though.
I was picturing a full body
pug skirt,
but we've got the face for sure, and we've got a whole bunch of cute ones in that collection. So
awesome.
Yeah, just shoot me an email. I'll send you whatever you need.
Awesome.
All right. So, do you guys ever do anything really fancy? I know you're planning something pretty fancy, Meg.
Oh, yeah, like real fancy. Well, actually, not really fancy. We don't want our... Are you talking about my wedding?
Yes, I'm talking about your wedding.
We don't want it to be too fancy. It's going to be...
Not like super, super fancy, but still a little bit more than normal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we want it to be fun, you know. But we're going to have, a wedding episode coming up, so
we'll go into details there.
Can't wait.
So one of the things that I do when I'm trying to dress something up is I take usually a tried and true pattern or a pattern I've sewn before.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then I find some really fancy fabric, and then I make something that I know I like the look of, and I make it in something that kind of elevates it. That dress I was talking about, my little black dress, it's actually a casual sundress. It's the Josie dress from which who made that?
Christine Haynes.
Christine Haynes made it for Sew News. And it's cute little empire waisted sundress, and it's got pockets, and I love it. And then you made it up in silk and put on some beads, and it actually looks quite fancy. So I think that's a great way to deal with the idea of trying to dress stuff up. Do you guys do that?
That's totally my mode. I mean, I think for me, it might be one part laziness. It's like if I'm only going to wear it one time, I'm going to use a pattern I've already put together and I know fits me. But I kind of love that. I mean, I don't tend to wear either store-bought or things I make like super fancy, complicated garments. I definitely like more simple things. So I think that's a good fit for this kind of stuff. I have, I really like the Lubox top by Sew DIY. It's just a really basic top, and I've made it in so many different things from like silky style to the fanciest one I have is a knit that is like gold speckles, which is kind of pretty much my go-to like date night concert shirt. But I also really like the Esme Maxi cardigan by Named, and I'm actually wearing one of those today that's made in kind of a sweatshirt material, but I have one that I made in a wool boucle, like a stretch. And so it's kind of fuzzy looking and kind of long and dramatic. But I love those patterns because you can dress them up really easily with just the fabric selection. So, but I kind of am in the mood to sew some more fancy things. We'll see what actually happens. Yeah. But I've really been loving the Breaking the Pattern book by Named that just came out, and there are a bunch of garments in there that are just, I mean, they're kind of like a little bit more of a statement piece, and with like open sleeves and bows on the cuffs and little fancy details. So kind of in the mood. So we'll see how long it lasts.
It's the season.
Yeah, well, I want to see what you make. And we've got Valentine's Day coming up, and you've got all those concerts. So
exactly,
maybe I'll have something great to wear for
that's
an
the plan.
Date.
And I just want to say, Kate, I love the way you say Pierre.
I know, that was awesome.
I'm like an empire way. Like,
yeah.
you make it
Pierre.
I think I'm gonna take that with me
Take
back
it.
to Canada. The Pierre way.
You learned that in
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah, you take that.
Take that back with me.
Okay, thank you.
It was
I'm all
fancy.
embarrassed now.
I know.
All right. Well, does anybody else have anything they want to say about date night sewing? Favorite
No.
patterns? Favorite fabrics?
I don't know. No, I'm good.
I'm
You're good?
inspired.
We've
I
done
am.
it. All right. Well, thanks for talking about that. And in just a minute, we're going to move on to menswear.
So I don't know if you guys follow the Make9 hashtag, but it seems like everybody this year for 2019 has menswear items in their as part of their sewing goals. And we also are learning kind of through the Sew News Men Who Sew column this year that there's a well-established and growing community of men who sew for themselves. So I'm really excited about this trend. I hope it leads to good things and more options in menswear. But I wanted to talk about that today with you guys. You know, whether it's dads, husbands, fiancés, uncles, nephews, friends. Do you guys sew for men?
I do. I've only really sewed like button-up shirts because I find them easy and fun to do, and also easy to fit.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing I find difficult. 'cause
Same.
You don't know the fit. You don't have kind of,
Just seems like a different world.
Exactly. So what I do is I take an existing shirt that I know Julian likes the fit of, and I just take those measurements right to the pattern, so I know which size, and it's been really good. So I like to sew like crazy, button-up shirts. Like, his favorite is a donut shirt that I made
Oh
him.
my gosh.
Yeah, he gets compliments on it all the time.
Does he wear it with pride?
Oh,
Does he tell people you made it?
of course he
I
does.
love
Yeah, no,
that.
he loves the button-up shirts that I make him. So it's
That's
just kind of
awesome.
It's kind of fun.
That's
yeah.
so awesome. And see, my story is kind of funny because I, as a person who was sewing in the theater as a costumer, I did sew for men all the time because, half to more
Right.
than half of actors are men. I feel like we sewed for women more than men because they had a tendency, like, a pair of black trousers is a pair of black trousers,
Right.
and unless you're looking at a certain time period,
Yeah.
they can kind of work for almost any era. So unless you're like going for a straight out zoot suit or something, you don't need to necessarily do something new for every show. So we had a big stock of like trousers and dress shirts and stuff like that, and so we do a lot of pulling. So pulling being we would pull them out of our storage and put them on actors and figure out what fits and then do any alterations we needed to do. Sorry, throwing out theater terms there. But so we didn't do as much sewing as we did for women, though I remember making a pair of like velveteen mustard yellow lederhosen when we were doing Pinocchio.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yes. This was my first welt pocket. It actually went really well. There
Went
was
really welt. Oh gosh. Another sewing. My sewing puns are just firing.
I feel like we should have a running tally than like a winner
But then,
who can make the most sewing puns.
it's probably not going to be me. But that's okay. And then there was the whole full Monty thing. So yes, I have officially sewn breakaway G-strings for men.
That's such a good skill to have.
I know,
I mean,
right?
you never know when you're going to need
Exactly.
it in the future.
Exactly. Yeah, you should have seen Meg's face when I said that. She's like, "What did you just say?"
You heard right.
Yep, breakaway G-strings. Made a whole bunch, and of course, you had to make 2 for every actor because they got kind of damp if you were doing a 2-show day.
No, that's all we need to know about
TMI.
that.
All right,
No, I just
stopping
joke.
with that. But and then of course you're doing something like Aida, and you find that what you're sewing for men is wraparound skirts because it's in ancient Egypt. So
Okay.
my menswear sewing is just all over
All
the
over the
place.
board.
That's
But
so fun,
it's
though.
all kind of in the past because now that I'm not sewing for the theater anymore, I'm mostly sewing for me. And I am a very, very bad wife because Mark asked me to make him something a couple of months ago and I have not done it yet. So
Yeah.
got to start putting some pressure on me to make Mark his t-shirt and his polo shirt.
It's just a t-shirt.
I know, but I haven't done it.
that's bad. I was going to say that's a couple of months is not so bad, but if it's a t-shirt.
It's a t-shirt. Well, part of the problem is he wants a very specific fabric, and it's a fabric that I bought.
Blame it on Mark.
Blame it on Mark. He wants a fabric that I got on the internet. It's the same stuff I have some of my shirts out of, and he's like, it's so soft, I want a shirt out of this, and I got it on the internet, and I haven't gotten around to ordering more yet. So it's not like I can just run over to the local fabric store and pick up what he needs. So yeah, I'm
or you can make him a crop top, a crop.
There you go. That's all he needs.
Just piece it together from my scraps.
Yeah.
There you go. I definitely have only sewn my husband like one garment. I've sewn him other stuff like bags and things like that, but I sewed him last year a cardigan, which was kind of perfect because I feel like I got out of the whole fitting issue. You know, a cardigan, I feel like you've got a lot of leeway. It can be a little big.
#cardigan couple.
Exactly. Pretty much. We should take some photos. But I have fabric in my stash that has been there for it has to be almost 2 years. And I was supposed to make some pants, and I haven't yet. So I really need to get on that. But I don't know. I feel like, how do you guys feel about the availability of patterns for men? Because when I was initially thinking about this, and it feels pretty limited, but I don't know if that's because it is actually limited or if men's clothing just isn't quite as varied as women's clothing is. But looking out there, there's a lot of patterns, and there is a good variety. So
I know Berta comes out with a men's pattern like every other issue or so, and sometimes there's a whole men's collection. But they come up with lots of little boys.
Yes,
right.
Too. So, but yeah, they have a hoodie in the December issue that I'm going to make Julian. It's a really good pattern. It has a sewing lesson and everything, and
yeah, that one's cute.
Isn't that cute? Yeah, so
yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to there's only so much that men are really allowed to wear by our society.
Yeah,
and once you make a t-shirt pattern, I mean, you can make make like 6 different t-shirt patterns for women with different touches to them. But it's harder to do that for men because men's t-shirts are so standardized. And same thing with button-down shirts. I mean, you've got like a sleeve length difference and maybe how fitted it is through the body. And then after that, it's like, okay, so you could do some collar differentiation, but that's about as far as you can go. And so I think a big part of the limitation is just how much men are allowed to wear by society.
Yeah.
What about, I feel like a lot of it comes down to fabric selection too. And I was thinking about this and I was like, it is kind of hard to find fabric for menswear. But then I was also thinking about pretty much every fabric I use could also be used for a man. Like I don't tend to use very feminine fabrics. Like they're pretty basic. So I don't know if that's actually true. I mean, there's all kinds of linens and iCat weaves and I mean, there's is actually a lot. I think I made a lot of excuses for myself in my head, and then when I thought about it a little bit more, I realized they were just excuses. Yeah, exactly.
For me, I just head over to that quilting cotton food section. I mean,
there you go. You can do broccoli. You can do donuts.
I have a popcorn shirt cut out for it's like digitally printed, like a popcorn. He loves going to the fabric store with me. He's like, "Can I have a shirt out of this?"
He likes the novelty prints.
He likes the novelty prints. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that is super awesome.
I also made him a zebra button-up shirt. It has like alternate zebra print for the pockets and sleeves, and he just loves. I need to start making him more shirts because he wears them out. I made him a mustache shirt too, with like little printed mustaches everywhere.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think that, I mean, it sounds like he is very appreciative when you make him.
He is. Yeah,
and I think
it's been a while.
I remember I put together a roundup of gifts for guys a while ago, and one of the comments was, well, you know, you can make it, but are they actually going to wear it?
Right.
And have you run into any issues with that? Because it's so sad. My husband was so appreciative of the cardigan that I made him and like best gift recipient ever. And yet I haven't.
You've never seen him wear it?
No. He does wear it.
Good.
He wears it. But all the more reason for me to make him more because he was like so appreciative.
Yeah.
So, but you guys appreciative recipients in your experience and things get worn and
I also make Julian sleeping shorts too out of jersey because he's very particular on what he sleeps in.
Yeah,
just like
super comfy.
I just use kind of a pajama pant men's pattern that we have on Bird. I just cut it off like short style, and he wears them like every night. Like even when we travel, he's like, I need like my pajama shorts. And stuff. So
That's cute.
it's
He's
all
got
about
his favorites.
Yeah, he kind of just, it's like how I sew for myself. You find a need, and then you just kinda,
Exactly. Fill
I
it.
kind of sew for it.
So do you have any favorite like go-to patterns for menswear? Or things that you're thinking about maybe trying soon?
Well, actually, I would like a recommendation out there for a nice men's t-shirt pattern, you guys. Maybe a nice men's polo, because I'm feeling super guilty right now.
I know, I do
definitely
feel
check
guilty.
out the Berta style.
Sure.
They have some men's t-shirt. They have a pattern, the Pete pattern, which is an original Berta style pattern before we started carrying the magazines, and it's a popular. I've made it before.
Okay, I'll look
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Send it on over to you.
I do want to say for the record right now that I have said before that Mark sews for himself, and this is true. And he does have a bag full of shirting material and a pattern that he has had sitting there for like 4 years that he has not touched yet. So me waiting a couple months to make him a t-shirt
That's
is not
true.
nearly as bad as letting that shirting sit there for that long. And I'm getting close to the point where I'm just going to steal it and make something for myself if he doesn't get to that shirting soon. All right.
Well,
That's my disclaimer.
Nice. Well, I did do a little bit of research, and I will say, if you guys have heard of thread theory, they have a lot. They have some patterns for women, but they also have the bulk of what they do is for men, and they have some great patterns on their website.
Nice. I'll have to check them out.
They've got jeans, they've got sweaters, they've got your classic button-up shirt, as does Colette and Merchant and Mills. I feel like a lot of their stuff is actually could work for a man or a woman. So you could buy a pattern for your husband and make something for yourself, because I'm always working those angles. But Thread Theory does carry patterns by some other kind of smaller independent designers. So I feel like that's a really good resource. The cardigan that I have sewn was by Wardrobe by Me, and that was the Far Far cardigan. But I am on the hunt for some good pants. So I was eyeing the Fremantle pants by LB Textiles, which is a pant that is designed for both men and women. It's a pretty basic elastic waist pant that would be good for like the lightweight ICAT that I've got to work with. But I've also seen a lot of people make the Hudson pants by True Bias for women, for themselves and for the men in their lives. It's kind of more of a tapered kind of sweatsuit jogger type pant.
Nice.
But I feel like it's a little bit of an upgrade from your average sweatpants. So those are on the list for me of things that I'm thinking about. But I don't know. We'll see how much I actually do in 2019. I've just got so many plans for myself.
I know, me too.
Well, it's only January.
It's only January. You're right.
Well, by the time this comes out, it'll be technically February, but it's still only February, guys. So we still have
Okay. Whew.
still got 11 months to go.
Exactly. But one last thing, though. If you haven't sewn a lot for men, what do you think is kind of the most intimidating prospect? For me, it's definitely fits.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's necessarily, I mean, if the pattern's designed for men, it's designed to fit men. And of course, as with women, everybody's got a different body.
Yeah.
And so there's always going to be those kind of challenges there. But I don't know that it's that different fitting men than it is fitting women. And most of the techniques are basically the same thing. They're just slightly shaped different. So I'd say for me, the most intimidating thing is the same thing it always is, which is buttons. I hate buttonholes so much. And it's very silly because I have access to plenty of machines that will do automatic buttonholes, but I just get so paranoid about them and how terribly it's going to go. And so
it's like the last step.
Right. And if you mess it up, you've messed up the whole thing.
That's how it always works
always
for me.
Stress-induced.
Yeah. So that's the most intimidating thing for me about menswear.
Yeah, lots of buttonholes for sure.
Yeah, definitely. That's why, maybe the t-shirt first, and then I'll worry about the polo.
What the game changer was for me is finally utilizing my actual button sewer on my sewing machine because you know how I hate hand sewing, and hand sewing buttons is so annoying. And so I finally looked in my manual for once, and I was like, maybe I'll see how I can use this, and it just kind of zigzags over the buttonholes, and like that was like the game changer.
So is it you're making the buttonholes in that way, or you're actually sewing on the buttons?
Sewing on the actual buttons.
Because I know I haven't explored that, but I've seen people do it.
Explore that.
Yeah,
yes.
It's a game changer, huh?
Yeah.
Great. All right. Well, thanks, you guys. I feel inspired and a little bit guilty, but maybe that'll lead to good things for my husband.
I think we should need to like set a goal for ourselves. Like to keep us all accountable.
A little challenge.
Like a little challenge. Like
like
maybe should we like set a date to like at least sew one thing for our significant others?
I'll do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Next week. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, let's not go crazy here. How about June 1st? Gives us 5 months.
June 1st.
June
I can make
1st.
some pants by June 1st.
Yeah, I can make that hoodie that I want to make Julian, and he wants it embroidered too with his name on it. I know.
That's his name.
He does. He goes, "Can I have my?" Because he sees me embroidering things. He's like, "I want my name on it."
That is so great.
When I make Mark his polo shirt, I have these little. They're from Urban Threads. They're these little. They're like the little polo symbol, except there's like little dinosaurs and unicorns and there's something else, little Cthulhu. And so I'm going to have to grab one of those and put it on Mark's polo when I do that.
So everyone, keep us accountable. June 1st is...
Check in with us.
Check in with us.
Yes, and make sure that we all have made something for our significant others. And Mark, if you want any awesome novelty prints, we should, look at that because novelty prints are awfully fun. And Mark does listen, so I am directly talking to him through the microphone right now.
Yeah, I don't think Jillian's listened to an episode yet, so please listen to him. Oh, he's too busy listening to his other... I'm like, you already listen to podcasts, just come on.
Just add this one to your rotation.
So now let's jump into our SewJo segment where we each share a little something that's giving us some sewing mojo. So Amanda, why don't you tell us what's your SewJo?
Well, now I want to sew everything for date night and for my husband. But I'm also on kind of a shirt making kick. I really love making button-up shirts. And Indie Sew is holding a challenge in February. They're focusing on shirts and shirt dresses. And Jill Case, our online editor, is going to participate. So she's been going through all of her shirt dress patterns and picking fabrics and things like that. And I added a couple to my list too.
I love a good shirt dress.
Yeah, exactly. Shirt dresses.
Especially for like the summer and spring. They're so cute. Yeah.
And I really do like button-up shirts. I'm kind of looking for different kinds rather than just like your standard collared shirts. So taking recommendations for that, but that's kind of where I'm headed next, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
What about you, Kate?
Well, I don't know. I just recently started watching The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on Amazon Prime.
That's on my list.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys, have you seen it?
I haven't watched it, no.
It is so good.
It's
so funny. I'm really enjoying it so much. And it's set in 1958 through 1959-ish. And so they've got these fantastic little 50s dresses, and like the mother wears these beautiful suits. And then the last episode I watched, they just went to the Catskills. They're wearing their like bathing suits and their summer looks, their little pedal pushers. And it's the costuming is just so beautiful, and the look is so great, and I'm just so inspired by the whole thing. And I'm probably not going to do anything with that inspiration because that is not a look that works for my body personally. But I am kind of admiring these pretty swingy coats they have, meant to go over, skirts with petticoats on them.
Right, yeah.
And so my Berta style coat that I'm about to start making is very much in that kind of shape. So
Definitely.
I'm kind of pulling into that to be like, okay, this is my Mrs.
Getting in the
Maisel
zone.
look that I'm doing here.
Oh,
so
that's such a good one.
yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah, that's
so I
definitely-
highly recommend it. You guys should watch it.
On my watch list.
Not with kids.
Great. Good to know.
Yeah.
Oh, don't watch it with kids.
Well, I'm not worried about you. Bunny can
yeah.
see what he needs to see, but don't watch it with kids, Amanda.
Okay.
I'll cover Bunny's eyes.
It's more his ears. But
Oh, right. Oh, his ears are pretty big to cover.
Yeah.
there's there's just a touch of nudity in the first episode. So.
Thanks for the warning, Kate.
You're welcome. Content warning, you guys, for Mrs. Maisel. And the language. It's mostly language.
Okay, so my SewJo is kind of getting on that menswear, just making that hoodie. I'm going to do it when I get home. I'm going to start that because got in this shipment of all these Shannon fabrics. Their minky is so soft and it's freezing in Canada right now. And Bunny has taken a liking to jump in my Shannon fabrics.
Of course
box
he has.
and snuggle up, and
He's a smart guy.
And Julian is...
I'm going to need a picture of Buddy snuggled up in the box of Shannon fabrics.
Yeah. I posted it on my Instagram. It was so cute. He just nuzzles up in there. But Julian wants his hoodie out of that blue tie-dye minky.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
With his name on it.
With a pink embroidery of Julian.
Someone else might think it was theirs.
Exactly. You just don't want anyone stealing your tie-dye hoodie.
So
it's going to be amazing.
Use the topper. Really, really, really use the topper.
Yes. No, I will. Yes. Yeah, thankfully.
You've got a whole bunch of that tip.
I failed miserably doing that the first time, so definitely will do that.
Oh,
so
my
that's
gosh.
my SewJo.
I cannot wait to see that, but by June 1st.
Yes, by June 1st. By June 1st. So.
And if we get it done earlier, we can do
points.
We can do a check-in if we get there before that. But. All right, so let's move on to our Sew and Tell segment, where we get feedback from our listeners on our Sew and Tell question. So last week, we asked you, what is your favorite trend for spring and summer 2019, and will you sew it? And we got a couple of responses on Instagram, and I will start out with a response from Carol Henderson, who says, no biker shorts. My goal right now is just to sew. Being trendy would be a bonus. I feel you, Carol.
Same here.
What? No biker shorts? Come on. No. I feel like I'm really the only one that's like for this trend.
I am sure there must be somebody
Stay strong,
else.
Meg. Stay strong. You can do it.
I'm going to. I am already like styling my outfit, getting it ready for when this polar vortex ends. Oh my gosh.
Well, like I said, more power to you if you want to do it.
All right, we also heard from S is for Sew on Instagram, who said, no solid plans yet, but I keep saying fruity suit to myself, so I'm guessing something like that will happen.
Yes.
I go.
Also hearing that
go.
one. Yeah, fruity suits all the way. Love them.
That would be such a fun challenge. Maybe we should start it.
Wait, no, we already have a challenge.
Oh wait, we do.
We have the menswear challenge. I can't do two.
That's right. Fruity
suiting. We should maybe start a hashtag fruity suiting and just see. Yeah, maybe we could get that started. Yeah.
All right, not a challenge, just a hashtag.
Just a
that
hashtag.
I can handle.
No challenge.
No challenge, just a hashtag. So speaking of what we challenged ourselves with this week, we are asking you guys for our question of the week is, what's your favorite menswear pattern?
Yes, help me find something to sew for Mark, please.
Yes.
Yes, share your suggestions.
All right, so let us know your answer to that. You can go to our show notes page or get in touch with us on Instagram. We'd love to hear your feedback. Before we close out, I just want to give you a quick reminder to please take our survey. You can find the link on our show notes page at sewdaily.com/sewandtell. It'll run through February 21st, and you'll get a free Berta style skirt pattern as a thank you. We'd love, love, love to get your feedback so we can make sure that we're bringing you content that you love. So take our survey, please.
Please.
And thank you.
Please. And do you know what I realized? That the Berta style skirt pattern that we're giving away was the same pattern I used to make my festive, like, ugly skirt.
That's awesome.
It's such a cute pattern.
It is a super cute pattern.
It's a really cute pattern. It's really cute.
It's kind of perfect for this time of year, too.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Nice little length.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So if you want it, go take our survey.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we are done. Meg, it was so nice to have you in the studio. It was so fun to record directly with you. This has just been a great episode for us.
Yeah, hope we can do it again soon.
Yes,
absolutely.
Definitely. Next time you're in town, we will be doing it together.
Come on back.
All right. Thanks for listening, and have a great week, everybody.
Happy stitching.
Bye, everyone.
Until next time.
For links to everything we talked about in this episode, go to our show notes page at sewdaily.com/sewandtell. If you want to get in touch with us, you can email us at sewandtellpodcast@fwmedia.com or visit us on Instagram @sewandtellpod. Answer the Sew and Tell question, tell us your SewJo, or just leave us some feedback. If you enjoyed our show, please subscribe on your podcasting platform of choice. And please leave us a review, ideally a good one, because that helps listeners like you find our podcast. And tell your sewing friends about us too. Thanks for listening, and happy stitching. Sew and Tell is a production of F&W Media Studios and is produced by Meg Healy, Amanda Carestio, and me, Kate Zaynard. Our consulting producer is Ron Doyle, our audio engineer and editor is Evan Rutherford, and our executive producer is Jared Mayer.